What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is a beautiful Tuesday evening. It's your boy Shellhead Tony. I'm here for another beautiful episode of Drinks and Toys. Salute, everybody. And I am here with a special guest, but I'm also here with Wheezy. Wheezy, how are you tonight?
I'm good, man. Went to the gym. It was nice. I had a day off today, so good
Oh,
shit going
look
on.
at you with extra days off. Oh,
Well, the job gives me like a day off for my birthday, so I just have to arrange. I was like, I'm gonna do it the day after the holiday because I'm off on the holiday. I got a 5 day weekend out of it. Like,
that is true, man. So I totally forgot. Well, didn't forget, but I did forget. But guys, Wheezy had a birthday. So he is now 14. We wish him the best. His voice is going to change. He's going to start getting hair in weird places.
it's gonna
And
start
so
cracking.
happy birthday, dude. Um, and we
I
have a very
appreciate it,
special
man.
guest tonight, guys. If you don't know, I do play a game called 7 Days to Die, what have you, and then a couple other games is World of Warships and all this other crap. And got to know Mr. the famous DJ Jan X. Jan, what's up, man?
Thanks so much. Yeah, well, doing good. And although it's 3 o'clock in the morning here in Germany, I'm fine. And thanks for
I'm
having me.
I'm not really sure if you guys picked up on that. 3 o'clock, and he is in Germany. So we're complaining over here that it's 9 o'clock, and it's like, man, we got to do this for an hour. It's 3 a.m. in Germany, and Jan's like, let's do this. So
Yeah.
Like, I'm game.
very, very excited, man, to have Jan on. Really cool cat. Love gaming with him, and hopefully Joe's going to join on here later. And it's going to be a great night, great chat, and we've got some stuff to talk about. And one of the main things we're going to do is once we're done, kind of going over the first half of the cast, is we want to brain pick Jan and toys and things that he had as a kid, whatever was popular in Germany at that time, because he and I are around the same age, and so of course a lot of what he played with or had is probably very likely to be something that I had or Chris or what have you. So it all makes sense. Kind of cool to tie that together. So very excited for that. And again, Jan, thank you so much, man, for being on.
Oh,
Um,
welcome.
so first thing is I
So,
wanted. What's up?
I said, so
So I wanted to talk about. It's been kind of bugging me, and it's the bootleg toy market. And I use it very loosely. So we have bootleg, you have knockoff, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sure there is a distinction, right? So bootlegs tend to be very poorly made. Knockoffs just tend to be, in my opinion, a variance from the original toy. And the reason I bring it up is because toy collectors, uh, resellers, people who don't know what they're buying, even on eBay, could very easily get duped into buying something that's a reproduction and not what they originally think it is. So, case in point, the hardest ones right now happen to be Generation 1 Transformers, in my opinion. And so, you go on to eBay and you buy what somebody lists as a Generation 1 Optimus Prime. You buy it, you get it home or get it shipped to you, and you're like, man, I only paid $100 for a Generation 1 Optimus Prime in the box. You open it up and you're like, this isn't the original one. Now, a regular collector like myself or like yourselves would know that that's not real. You can't buy a Generation 1 Optimus Prime in the box, mint condition for $100.
no.
But somebody who is not a collector and is just wanting to get into the world of collecting might not know that. And so that gets harder and harder to determine. Now, one of the worst ones, I think, besides Transformers, could be Ninja Turtles. Playmates did those reissues. If you bought a loose lot of toys, right? Let's say you bought a
Okay.
loose collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Brothers.
You've been
Yeah, I
drinking?
know. I'm sorry, I started on that one. You bought a loose collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Brothers, and they had all their weapons and everything. But all by rights by pictures, aside from Raphael, you might think those are original. And then you get them delivered to, and you're like, these are different than I remember, but they must be original. That's what they sold me. But in reality, they could be replicas or the remakes because other than malleability, I guess you could say, if that's a word, the rubber,
Right.
there is not much difference between them other than Raphael's green is way the fuck off.
Yeah, but someone who's just getting in won't know that either, right?
Sure,
Oh,
absolutely, absolutely. So we got Psycho. Psycho, we're talking about, well, let me show this topic for tonight. Psycho, we're talking about knockoffs at the moment, and then we are going to let Jan run wild in a bit. Mo, what's up, dude? We got Jan on, absolutely. And Mayumi might be my new best friend because she is overseas and awesome, and we're so happy to have her on. Super cool. So, yeah, so knockoff toys, though, man. Like, they're from, they're Chinese distributors. They're really cool. They're awesome to have if you want the nostalgia of the box. But I feel like resellers, collectors, and whatnot could be getting duped really bad. Case in point, I watched an episode of Toy Federation, which is a popular YouTube channel that they own a toy store and they resell toys and what have you. And a woman, all right, Joe, well, whatever you got to do, man. Hopefully we get you on. But what happened was she had this collection of Transformers that she sent to the store to have them evaluated. She wanted to sell them. And as they're going through the toys, they're finding out that a lot of these toys are fake, right? They're not real Generation 1 toys. And so, the guy Ryan who runs the store is like, well, you can tell this isn't real. Look at this, look at this, look at this. He goes, I can see why she might think this was real, but it's a very common thing lately for people to be getting duped or misinformed when they're purchasing.
But what
do you think?
That's one of those things, like in that situation, it's a case of people taking for granted what they know from their experience in the world, right?
Sure.
So, this is obviously fake. I wouldn't know a G1 Transformer from a knockoff because I don't care about Transformers, right? I don't have any of them. I don't even look at them. Like, I would never know. It's just not my realm. So, I mean, that just kind of is what it is. You can't fault people for not knowing that, especially if it's somebody who like just came upon a collection that they, for whatever reason, are trying to sell it. The only people that I don't feel for when those types of situations happen are people who are trying to actively collect. And we've discussed this before, that I feel collectors as a whole have stopped actually researching their collections and just buy shit because they think it's something versus actually learning what their items are and getting that knowledge about their collection to not get duped into buying fake stuff. Like, you're not going to get me to buy a fake Ninja Turtle. Like, I know my turtles. I've studied my turtles. Like, I know that shit. Like,
right.
But new collectors now who like, oh, I'm a turtle collector, and they just buy everything they can that's turtle related because they think it's real. They don't take that time to actually learn their hobby. That would alleviate a lot of it.
Like, it's more of it's more of the eagerness to want to own them as opposed to understanding what you're actually buying.
Right. And if you show me somebody who's just like buying for the eagerness to own them, I'll show you somebody who's going to sell them within 6 months. You know what I mean? It's the hot thing. You're just, oh, there's where everybody's buying. This is what I'm buying. Like, no, if you like it, do what you want, but you should really learn about what you're buying. Learn the property, learn the history of it. So you get learning the history kind of adds to what it is. Like, you get a bunch of young teenagers now, or older teenagers who are buying. They don't have a connection to the original Turtles. Perfectly fine, but at least learn about the original product that you're buying so you can appreciate what you're getting more and understand why, even though I don't agree with the price of Scratch, why he's so goddamn much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, again, back to your point, understand what the hell it is you're buying.
Yeah.
I don't think we get that enough. Who is Mikey?
Yo mama.
Oh, Mike Warren. So, you know what, dude? 3D printing and counterfeits. You're not wrong. So that is actually a big problem. Now, not that they're not easy to spot, but what you have a lot of times, and I'm seeing this more and more as I see the resales on eBay and so on and so forth, because there are great deals to be found on eBay still, as much as people don't think there are. But if you're on eBay and you're really paying attention, you're looking at what people are selling, they will kind of slide in there. Oh, it's 100% complete. However, real small print. This piece is a reproduction. And so you have people 3D printing reproduction.
It's complete, but not original.
Correct. Complete. It's just not what it was supposed to be. And so, like, case in point, one of the best ones, honestly, is Jetfire, which is from the Transformers. And so Jetfire's key points, his gun clip, one of the most commonly lost pieces if you want him, his gun clip, and then his armor clips are being reprinted, 3D printed. And people are still selling him as complete, which he might be complete. He's got everything you need to make him what he is, but he's not original. So yeah, to Mikey's point, that's happening a lot.
So, as somebody who 3D prints,
Uh-huh.
I can easily tell a difference between a mass-produced item from a factory versus what came off my printer, right? There's like in a picture you could get fooled, I imagine. A little bit of paint, you can get fooled. But as soon as you get in hand, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, unless they're getting like some real high quality printers, which the average dirtbag who's gonna go print stuff to try and complete and screw somebody over isn't, spending the money on the quality stuff.
So what's up, Jay?
But one thing that is becoming an issue that I hadn't thought about until Pixel Dan mentioned it was with stuff like the mutant module. So the mutant module has a bunch of little drills, like little drill pieces.
The little purple pieces all the way around the front of the drill.
Those go missing like crazy.
Yep.
So now with them re-releasing it, how many people are going to buy it to take those pieces off of the remake and put on the original to sell as original? Like, are they going to be different? Like, can you differentiate those? Because those would be mass produced from factories. Those might be hard to tell apart.
So if somebody were to change, now I have one in the box, I haven't, and then I have an OG one open. Now I have another OG one coming that I got that's open, that's complete, but I don't have a new one open. So I would like to take and confirm, are the purples the same color? Because if you change all the pieces out, well, who's going to tell the difference? But if you mix and match, you might be able to see the different colors in purple.
Right, but then you also had to add in the fact of what if the person had the old one and it was out towards the sun a little more often than the others? There's going to be color variance, that can happen naturally. Half your toys can turn yellow over years. You know what I mean? Like there's colors, like kind of wears.
Sure. I mean, well, it's kind of like, all right, so it's like the reproduction party wagon. So when you put that thing together, the missiles and the laser guns in the front or whatever, they droop down. Like the weight of them droops down, and it's rubber, and it's just like, it gets like real soft. But in the original one, they were solid.
Yeah, they were plastic.
They didn't bend. It's just the rubber or the plastic value or however they made it, I guess. I don't know.
But
I don't fucking know.
But like I said, 3D printing, as if you buy like in hand, you can easily tell if it's a 3D printed bullshit of a replacement part.
Can you always tell?
I can.
You should be able to. I know that.
So
I feel like I'm pretty consistent on being able to tell 3D printed from a factory mass-produced item. I feel like.
So I guess it's becoming a problem with Star Wars toys. So again, I'm going by Toy Federation, right? Because I watch that guy all the time. And so one of the things he sees more than not is reproductions of the guns, because Leia's gun or Luke's gun or Han's gun are always lost. And so good luck, right? If you're going to find one, good luck to you. Good luck with it being the original, not being destroyed. And so people are reprinting their guns. But the plastic quality in the 70s was so bad to begin with. And then if you get a new one and they're printing it higher quality where there's no lines or anything, you got a high quality printed.
Nice.
Huh?
Like, this is too nice.
Right. It's almost like this is too good to be the gun from the 70s. So, but it's getting harder to tell the difference. And, like the guy Ryan said, he goes, look, there's pieces that have come in that I'm like, if I didn't really spend time with this, any collector would have said, this is fine. This is an OG gun.
Hey, so you got to figure for like the small guns like that. And even like you see people do like scratches accessories, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they print those and they try and use them, they usually do them with resin. So there's very little, it's harder to tell when you have resin versus a filament.
They're smooth. Yeah.
yeah, the resin, your little process, it gets real smooth. You can do it real dense. It gets heavy. Like you can get a much more official feeling product from the resin versus the layer by layer filament rolls. So that's where you can run into that. Definitely, it was the small parts.
So hold on. Maybe I can start trading cards or autographs.
Read out loud, Tony.
Yeah. So all right. So Mikey says maybe. Well, we do it again. It's just people can. Maybe I'm wrong, but do they do a certification of authenticity like they do trading cards or autographs? How could you get a certification of authenticity or certificate of authenticity? Oh my God. For toys with all the 3D modern tech nowadays, I think it's so hard, even if you're knowledgeable about toys and you spot a fake. So, to answer your question,
No, don't.
well, you have grading companies, right? You have CAS, you have AFA. Those companies are paid to certify what you're giving them. So if you give them a toy with a 3D printed part, they're likely to know what you're giving them is fake. Should be.
Yes, correct. But you're also in the process of getting it graded, right? So that costs big bucks for
Sure.
something that might be. But something I've been thinking about is it's funny that he brings it up. I get like a lot of these videos on my Facebook that pop up of like sneaker conventions. People buy and sell fucking sneakers all day, right? And apparently there's like a table set up there for like eBay or some shit where they take and they authenticate the shoes before you can sell them. So you can do a service like that at like a Tampa toy show, set up a table, a service of certifying just that they're legit so people know that they're buying real stuff. It's definitely a untapped market.
That's funny you say that because I brought up to Tony about the possibility of venturing into like a toy grading company. He's like, yeah, whatever. But I've done some research. There's only 4 players, 5 players that are have some.
And there's no rules as to what they can do. They just fucking do whatever.
Yeah.
But if you do
You could
like
say-
I can like an authorization company where you're just doing the authority of if it's real or not grading it. So people can come over and bring you 10 turtles, like, hey, I'm getting ready to buy these. Can you just make sure these are legit or that they're accurate to the age that they're telling me? You go through them, all right, cool. And then that you charge them like $20. Here you go, whatever, fee or whatever you want to do. It's definitely something that's not been done because everything else like is grading. And a lot of people be like, oh, I have to send it in to possibly spend $90 to grade it to find out if it's fake or not. That's kind of a turnoff.
I guess the best way would be just buy things that no one buys because what is not sold, it's not. It's out of interesting to copy.
Yeah. You find like, I guess when it comes down to like, especially is Transformers the big one, right? Is the real issue.
Yeah.
Because when you go on like other websites where you can find knockoffs, you can find bootleg stuff, and you see it even in the pictures, it's obvious it's a knockoff. Like there's no getting around what it is. But Transformers, because of how big of the market is, especially overseas, some of the knockoffs are nicer than the real product.
So third party versus your mainstream. So I'm just gonna lay this out there, put it to rest.
That's different.
Yeah, I order from a couple different websites, right? And I had a couple that came in recently at the last show and purchased from me. And
I was wondering if this is what brought this topic up.
yeah, I didn't want to, but they were claiming one of the pieces was a knockoff. And when I sold it to them, I try to describe everything to the best of my ability. I really do. I don't want anybody to go home and feel remorse or feel bad about what they bought. And they asked me, they go, well, is this a real piece or is this a knockoff? The one piece, the Megatron. And I said, I bought it from TF Safari, TF Source, whichever one. And I've never bought anything from them. They didn't even second guess it after I said those names. So they obviously knew the website. But I've never purchased anything, from those websites that was a knockoff. They've always been authentic. Whether it came to me in a box or not, it's whatever, but they've always come across authentic. So I didn't have a reason to think otherwise. Now, the other piece they purchased absolutely was a knockoff. Well, that reflects in the pricing, because if you're purchasing a Masterpiece Transformer, most of them, if you ever look them up, are $199 and up. They are not $80, $60. They're $199 and up. That's why they're so expensive. That's why they are what they are. Now, you can buy a knockoff Masterpiece. I say knockoff. They're not stamped Takara. They're in a Takara box. They're in a Masterpiece box. Everything says Masterpiece other than they're not stamped. And once in a while, you do have quality control issues. That's fine. Reach out to the manufacturer, not to me. I'm not a refunder. I'm just selling toys at a show, and I let everybody know what they're buying. I don't dupe anybody into anything that I'm selling.
Right. And I mean, that's the same thing with some of the things that I used to have. It was they're
statues.
Huh? What?
Your statues.
Yeah. So they're made by Kaboku or Kia, whatever the hell the company's name is. But the ones I get don't have that stamped on it because they're not official product from them. There's the exact same items. So they're not. Everything's the same. They look the same. Everything's the same, but it's just not, the box isn't stamped with that official company logo. So when people ask me, are these legit? I tell them, like, no. I just tell them straight up, like, these are straight from overseas. These are the Japanese versions, because that's what they're sold to me as, Japanese versions, because they don't mark them over there. It's a different version, but it's the exact same damn statue. But that's also why I sell them for $60, not $350. Like,
so is that a knockoff though? If it's the Japanese version, is that
so
that's what they call them on the website? But it's
but Chris, would you equate that to? I don't want to call it knockoff turtles, but when they sold some NECA pieces, sometimes before they get stamped from the factory, right? They get pulled from production, and it's the same item. Mm-hmm. And maybe they didn't paint. Maybe these 50,000 units never got painted.
Right.
So they get pulled off the line, and somebody else purchased them, and they get painted through a third party, or fourth party, fifth party, whatever. And then they get packaged in the same packaging you would buy the actual product from, and now they're calling it a knockoff. Well, it's not necessarily a knockoff. It's just not in production packaging with the production stamp. It came out of the same plant, same mold, but they didn't paint it there and do XYZ. And so people automatically assume that it's a knockoff. It may not be in some cases.
So running on the turtles, right? Just because you brought them up.
Right.
The only knockoffs from NECA Turtles that are like legitimate knockoffs are the original 2008 Mirage, the all red bandanas.
Yep.
And then the knockoffs started doing like their color bandanas, but they
in
all
the single cases.
They all came in the cylinder case.
Yep.
Originally. NECA did do a cylinder tubes as official product release as well, but the only other ones that were like legit knockoffs for Turtles, if I remember correctly, were the movie figures.
The boxed ones, right?
Yeah. You can get knockoffs of those.
Yeah, so like the originals.
It's not, like you were saying, it's not knockoff in the term of they sent it down to where you see a lot of knockoffs sent down to Mexico, where they like made a mold of it, then they start producing their own versions of it. These are literally the same factory that makes them. NECA puts in, just for example, NECA puts in an order for 20,000 of them. Okay. The factory's like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to print 30,000. And then we're just going to take 10,000 of those and sell them to our distributors here. And they're going to go on these third-party websites, Ally, whatever, those different ways. Because they get paid by the same people. They get produced by the same people. Sometimes there will be a quality difference in the plastic.
So this is a real, not a knockoff. This is the real movie turtle. You can see it's got the stamp at the bottom.
What stamp?
Right. So it came from GameStop. So these were GameStop exclusives.
Knockoff has that too.
What'd you say?
The knockoff has that too.
Right. So I have a knockoff set. And other than my ones do not have the stamp at the bottom. They're just
So the knockoffs, the first knockoffs of those, that GameStop sticker is printed on the package. Whereas yours, if it's real, it's an actual sticker. You could peel it off if you wanted to.
Right.
But the knockoffs, the actual sticker was printed on because they got an image offline and remade the packaging with the fucking sticker on it and printed that bitch up.
This is an actual, like, somebody peeled off and put a sticker on the box.
And then it's legit.
Well, I didn't get any Girl Scout cookies, but you're right.
Somebody up here said something in the chat.
A lot of people say
Oh,
things.
it was Gustavo. When we were talking about people should like learn what they know, and he's like, people don't care about the history, just want money.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
If that's what they're buying shit for is just for the money on the resale, then they deserve to get burned if they don't want to actually learn about what they're selling. That's their problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, man. So it's kind of crazy to look back and see, even myself as a reseller, I do buy third-party toys, Transformers only, because I have people that enjoy them and I enjoy selling them. I think they're cool pieces. I get something different all the time. It's not the same piece from every distributor. It always looks something different, and it's kind of cool to resell, and people like it. Now, the two customers that came up to me, they were looking for something specific. I can't fault them for that. The only thing I can fault is that I gave you the information I had, and if you had more research than me, then more power to you, but you can't be upset with your own purchase. I didn't dupe you. Nothing happened.
You didn't.
I'd be happy to sell it to you again, but it's, sometimes it is buyer beware, and take the time to figure out what it is you're actually purchasing and decide if it's something you want to go ahead.
It's like we said, it's about the knowledge, right? Because one of the first shows I did, maybe it was like third or fourth, but when I had those statues, that one guy walked straight up to me. He looks at it, he's like, oh yeah, I want to get this one. He's like, hold on. He looked at the box like, oh, that's a knockoff.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it's from Japan. I'm like, that's why the price is this. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. He left. That was it. Because he knew his product that he's buying. Like, he knows his collection. He knows what he's looking for. So if you go to a vendor and you're looking for especially rare Transformer stuff that's out there, you should have a pretty good idea of what you're looking for and how to tell if it's a knockoff. Like, if you don't know that, you should do some research, especially if you start going to toy shows and conventions and stuff looking for it. Because that stuff comes from overseas. Like, it's
not to spend too much time on it, but Beast Wars Transformers in particular, there's not a lot of companies that make newer Beast Wars toys, right? So you got the ones that got reproduced at Walmart, and you've got the originals. But if you want masterpiece Beast Wars, they are extremely expensive. Even the third-party knockoffs, I say knockoffs, but they're really not. The third-party knockoffs are extremely expensive. Case in point, one of the figures, her name is Black Arachnia. She's a little Black Widow spider. It's not big. It's the size of my hand's kind of big, but it's the size of my hand. Look, I'm using it for comparison for other things. But it's the size of my hand. And it's like, can you imagine if you went to a toy show and you're looking for a masterpiece Black Arachnia and you're like, yeah, I'll take that. And it's $250. And you get home and you're like, well, it's not a real masterpiece. Well, if she was, she'd be $350, $400. It's insane. It's just what they cost. I didn't make the pricing. That's just what they go for.
Yeah, and those are third parties, right? Those aren't even. I wouldn't call those knockoffs. They're third party. What they're doing, right? Because they're doing things that have never been made in that realm. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Because to me, like I said, we look at the stuff that one of our friends in the chat sells at his booth, the Mexican knockoffs, all that bootleg Mexico toys and stuff. No, there he is. So that stuff is like
his lawn looks fantastic, though.
Yeah, well, they take toys from wherever and they make rough copies of them, and then they start producing their own, but they are obviously knockoffs. There's nothing about them that looks official, but that's part of the charm of them too, because people like to buy them because they know what they are. It's obvious.
Well, look at their flag. It's like the American flag, but it's a little weird.
Exactly. But
Got
when it comes to
different
those
colors.
Transformers, it's third-party companies making fucking characters that have never even been made before. So it's 100%. It's not knockoff. It's not bootleg. It's just like independent. It's not.
I mean, it's fair to say
They didn't
that
copy
there's
it. They made their own. Like,
it's fair to say that there's a market for knockoffs. There's a market for
Absolutely.
replicas. Because I'm not going to spend $600 for a Jetfire, but if I see $100 Jetfire that I can get as a knockoff and it looks and plays and feels the same, I might go that route.
Yeah. No, that's 100% right. So, like, case in point, I was selling the. People call it the knockoff. It's really not. It's the reproduction Megatron. I sell it in the box for $350. That's unapplied stickers. That's a metal toy. It is a perfect reproduction of Megatron. It is. Well, if you want one in the box, and a box that's not fucked, and a toy that's not fucked, you're going to spend $1,500. Now you can buy you can buy a jacked up box. You can buy
toys.
You can buy loose joints, terrible stickers, and pay $600. Or for $350, you can buy from me a perfect box, perfect toy, unapplied stickers, something that you can play with if you want to. And if not, if you want the nostalgia of being able to say, I own one in the box, you can do that and not spend that money. And I am a firm advocate for these quote unquote knockoffs that are coming out, because I have sold so many to people that tell me all the same thing. Man, I had this as a kid. I can't afford to pay what they cost nowadays. I'm so grateful that somebody made it again, quote unquote, I guess you could say. And now they can own those. Like there's so many cars that I didn't have as a kid. I could buy them now and play with them, because they're $30, $60, whatever they are. And I can buy that and not feel guilty. And I can open the box. I never will, but it'll make me sick. But I can open the box and play with the toy. I didn't own some of those cars, but I can own them now. I never owned a Jazz. Jazz is one of my favorite ones. Sunstreaker, Sideswipe, those are some of my favorite ones. Never owned them. Well, I can own them now and only pay a portion of the monies, because if I want a Jazz in box today, nice and minty and fresh, $1,500 without even a problem.
Oh, it's a problem.
Well, it's a problem, but
It's
I'm
a
just not
mental
mad
problem.
about bootlegs. That's all I'm saying. So that's a short clip. Not mad about bootlegs. So,
I mean, like I said, it comes down to terminology. It comes down to terminology, right? Because
sure.
bootlegs to me and knockoffs is copies. So you ever seen that movie? Was it Please Rewind? Where like they're in like the video store and they like film, they erase all the fucking tapes in the movie or in their
I
job.
want to say
So they
yes.
Jack Black.
They start recreating the movies and putting them up as if they're like the official movies for people to rent. And like they show
that's
them just
awesome.
doing
No, I don't
all
think I've seen that.
classic movies.
Be
I
Kind
think Most
Rewind,
Def
I
was
think
in
it's
it.
called.
I think it's called Be Kind Rewind, whatever. Yeah, please, yeah.
Jack
But the
Black.
idea is that yeah, something happens and all the tapes in their video shop get erased, so they start recording like they do Ghostbusters, but they act out Ghostbusters as just the two of them recreated Ghostbusters. To me, that's the bootlegs, right? That's like real bootleg knockoff because you're copying something else. But then when you take an example of movies, you take like a Star Wars movie, but then the porn industry makes their own version. It's not a bootleg, it's not a knockoff, it's something completely different, just with that franchise behind it. Like it's just
Did you see the
it's not
porn
bootleg.
industry?
Well, I mean, they do a lot of parodies.
So the porn industry is shooting webs. Is that what we're throwing out there?
Yeah, knockoff dildo, whatever.
Right.
But but those aren't knockoffs, those aren't bootlegs, those are something completely different.
You mean like 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles, like that movie?
Exactly. That's it.
April ended up on a black couch. That's all I'm throwing out there. All right, so we're done with the bootlegs, and so we've come to what I want to call, I would say, the highlight of the podcast, which is Jan. You're up, man. So welcome, Jan, our very special happy little guest, straight out of Germany. That's a gangster thing. It's like 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. or 5 a.m. I don't fucking know anymore.
It's 3:30.
It's 3:30. He's got to get up for work in about 45 minutes. So, welcome, man. We want to know what you had, what you played with, what were the things that were huge when you were a kid.
Yeah, well, first of all, for sure, there are some international toys as well, like all those little cars made by Hot Wheels and Matchbox and all the other brands. I think, yeah, they are really international. And, well, I had them too. But for example, about those model cars or cars, I always preferred some metal ones made by Siku, Siku. It's written. It's made in Germany, a brand, and high quality die-cast model cars, and they are just awesome and very stable. So if you step on them, they don't get breaked. Yeah, they don't break directly. For example, compared to other brands. Well, this is a part that I used to, for example, those cars and the tractors and all the farming stuff. Yeah,
Like that?
they even have radio controlled pieces now. Meanwhile, the same scale, and they're awesome.
Ah, Volkswagen.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Yeah, this too.
It's a Volkswagen thing.
Yeah, I was like, look
Yeah.
at that thing.
I remember seeing one of those across the street. Oh,
Yeah, it's gone.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I said they also have those farming stuff in a lower scale, and I like to play with them very much and very often, even out in the sandbox in the garden. It was always fun.
That's
So
pretty
this
cool,
is
man. That's
yeah.
like
Well,
our. Would you say it's equivalent to our Tonka?
Tonka we can buy in Germany as well. By the way, we had a big Tonka tractor, a green one. Maybe it should be a deer. I don't know. Well, but yeah, this I had as well, but yeah, didn't play with it very much.
I love
So.
my Tonka truck.
You always.
But yeah, the scale of them is definitely well, they're definitely smaller. You have a model like sorry, I live in the metric system, so it's like 25 centimeters in the length of all with a tractor plus a trailer something.
Like 7
sometimes.
inches? Is that or 8 inches? How many inches in that?
Yeah, 8. Yeah, maybe something like this.
Yeah.
Or let's say 10 inches, maybe something like this. I don't know the official scale of them at the moment, but yeah.
25 millimeters is almost an inch.
Yeah, so then yeah, so then let's
That
talk
explains
about
my problem.
and
Tony's
Yeah,
like,
well.
Papa saw was 75 millimeters.
Continue. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
well,
man. Did you have Legos too? Because Legos didn't that start in Austria? Where did it start?
Lego are from Denmark.
Denmark. Yes.
Yes, Danish company for sure. I played with them as well, and also with Lego Technic for sure in the later years. And it's one of the best toy I can recommend to everybody to play with. Yeah, for growing. Well, sorry, my English is not that good.
No, your English is amazing. Don't ever say that. You're awesome, dude.
Thanks so much. Yeah, well,
Better than most
but,
Americans.
really.
It's better than most of ours after a few drinks. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, the things might be. Yeah, well, no, but it's really awesome to teach creativity, for example, because well, you can build everything what you want with this. If you want to build a Titanic, you can do this. If you want to build a tractor, you can do this. If you want to build a carousel, just do it. So it's just an awesome toy.
So
You can
not to
build the
digress,
Titanic. It ain't cheap.
Yeah, well-
not to digress at all. Jan must have played with a lot of Legos because in video games, the stuff that he builds is so extravagant, and I just see that stuff and I'm like, wow, you have a lot of vision and a lot of planning that you put in front of what you're doing, and
You
I can
didn't
see
see the
that.
latest space.
No, I haven't seen the latest. I
The
haven't seen
latest
the latest.
updates.
But I can see a lot of that comes from probably playing with Legos might be a good source of learning how to plan on what you're going to build with Legos. It's just crazy.
Like I remember, like as a kid, I had Legos, not a lot, but I had more Lincoln Logs than I had Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the creativity that's a little different. It's just you build a log cabin. Like how
Well,
big it is different. But
The problem with Lincoln Logs is then we had that war, and then they didn't make them anymore, and it was weird. Like,
By the way, there's even a Star Wars series by Lego, huh? Just saying.
yes, there's Lego everything these days.
Yeah.
you're
They
the
just
best
released
builder
a-
in
they just
70
released
2D
a-
and Second Life, brother.
They just
Huh?
released a Lego Gizmo on Target. You can build Gizmo out of Legos.
Oh
Yeah.
God, that's crazy. So what else, man? So you had Legos. Did you have? I actually want to buy a set of these just because I'm a sucker for toy nostalgia, right? I love older original toys if they're affordable. And so the original set of the Lego Binding Bricks system, you can actually buy them in the little brown box that came from Denmark. And it's all the original pieces. So did you have that as a kid, Jan, or were you old enough to where they were already building sets?
I had a few sets, but I also had a big sack, bag, whatever, with filled up with Lego stones in many sizes and all this stuff. So I learned to build, most stuff by myself.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
back in
had-
the day when Lego's like, no, we want people to use their imagination and build their own shit. You just get a box
Yeah.
full of fucking Legos.
So this
You
set
go
I'm
at
going to
it.
show you is the original set, and I was wondering if Jan, because Jan would have been privy to this before the rest of us because they didn't come overseas yet. So I'm wondering, Jan, did you have? That's not it. I'm sorry.
Did you have this? That's not it.
No, that's not it.
Sorry.
Oh, fine, bro.
But I'm also curious while Tony looks it up, because like, I guess it's hard because unless you're like an avid collector, you would know. But if you're not currently collecting, but like there's items we have here that overseas were different names, different toy lines, but the same products. Like He-Man did that a lot, like, but they went by completely different names.
Yeah, well, He-Man. I also played with actual figures, Masters of the Universe, by the way. Yes, um, but yeah.
That's what they were called. There was Masters of the Universe. It was still He-Man.
Yep. No, Masters of the Universe, and my most favorited action figure was a Skeletor. This is what I
Skeletor,
still
yeah.
know about.
Skeletor's
But
awesome.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. So those are your Legos, Tony?
Yeah. So Jan, see this right here?
Yes, I see this, but I don't know this box.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the original Lego Binding Brick set that was introduced in Denmark and then eventually shipped overseas. But you would have had first sight of it because they distributed them when they first came out, distributed them overseas before we got them in America. And so I was just curious if you had that as a kid because you got a couple years on me, and I thought maybe you would have had it in your hands before we would have seen it over here. But evidently, you were too small and that wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so. I was born in '77. I don't know when this box came out, so
Oh,
Probably
I didn't know
before.
Mo lived in Holland. Did anybody else know that?
He lived in a
Oh,
few
yeah, I knew
different
that.
countries. Yeah, he was his dad traveled because of the military, so they lived in.
But Mo's your age or Mo's my age, Joe?
He's a couple years older than me.
He's
Yeah.
older than you.
60.
Okay. So maybe, well, he's way older than Jan then.
He's like 65, I forget. No, he's like 50, 53, 54.
Yeah, 104 years. That's
Jan's like, so Mo may or may not have had that set as a kid, but Jan, so keep going, dude. So what else was big when you were a kid? What was everybody playing with?
Then for sure later we had those radio controlled stuff, cars, boats, helicopters, planes, all the stuff. For example, by a big Japanese company, Tamiya. I'm pretty sure you know this in America as well.
With a T,
Yeah,
T-A-M-I-Y-A.
right. Those we had in Germany as well, and great models. I'm not sure if they're still existing. I don't know.
They are
But
still
yeah, well,
existing, it looks like.
They do okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I had as well, and for sure I had my big electric model train,
Okay.
and yeah, it was German company Märklin.
Was it like the HO models? Like they were that?
Yes, it was HO.
Yeah. Okay.
It
So I
was
had
great.
in New York, I had a giant plyboard model train set that we built in the attic of HO trains, and it's probably still there because we couldn't get it out of the attic.
Road trip?
Right. Well, I don't know who lives there, but it was a whole train
We
set.
don't care.
Like, if we can get it, yeah,
Boring,
let's
doesn't
go.
matter about it. Like,
I don't
We're
think the
supposed to
trains
come
are
to me-
there, but
Come
yeah.
to me, we do a road trip here. Yeah.
no, but
But,
when, my dad was a big train collector, and he had a huge table set up, and
Well, it was a big
always-
Soul Train collector. It's two different things.
I mean, I'm the Irish one. He's not. I just collect souls. He doesn't. That's what I do. That's
Yeah, it's funny, man. I think every kid growing up had some kind of like electric train, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun, and it's funny. I keep thinking about like Damien, my son, and what he's into, and he's very much like whatever is like intricate and requires like him to really like look into and pull apart, which is kind of weird because like he loses attention really fast. But I think the more there is to investigate, the more it keeps his attention. And so I've seen plenty. Right, I've seen plenty of train sets come up on Marketplace. People have like the whole layout already done, and they're like, "Oh, $400, $500," and I'm like, "God, you've spent thousands of hours building that set, and they don't want anything for it." And I could just put it in my garage. I can't get it in the house because I'd have to turn it sideways or take my back doors off again, and I don't have anywhere to put it. Well, I don't think I have anywhere to put it, but it's one of those things. Well, I thought about buying one because Damien, I think, would love it. Because as a kid, I thought it was cool as shit to see a train going around a fake town.
Would he love it, or would he love to build it himself?
I think about that too. He keeps asking me to ride his four-wheeler, right? And we haven't gotten it running again. So I want him to be involved when I sit down and when I get it running again. But he keeps asking to ride it. So he's interested in the inner workings of a lot of things. He really is.
Because like it's one thing to sit there and buy a train set, right? It's cool to look at. But when you're the person who actually builds it, puts the mountains in, makes even like the little stores, and that makes it its own world, like that's a whole different thing. He might zone in on that, build his own freedom.
I mean, I could always buy one to build and run through this Terradrome thing sitting on my dining room table. Maybe you make one that runs through all there and you build. What's up?
You just get rid of the Terradrome.
I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. But something like that, I think Damien would have a really good time with. Kind of cool. But Jan, I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent. So what else, man? Like, what did you play with as a kid? You had trains. You had
well, then those HO models and big things. They had also houses made by Faller. Faller was the producer of those house models for this HO model train. Faller, F-A, it's F-A-L-L-E-R. And
I'm thinking of Hella, who made the headlights for my Volkswagen.
You know,
Like for a
and
buck, like
this
64 bucks.
It might be. It really could.
this company also built its own train. I had it as well. It was a big a train, and you could play with this, and it was compatible in size with Playmobil.
Oh, okay. So it's
So I could adapt two systems, like the good old Faller train that I had with the Playmobil cars and figures, and it was nice.
that's pretty cool.
Definitely, and yeah, it was a kind of garden train, so you could build it outside in the garden as well, and running from the garden into the house, and all the other stuff, and carrying some candies from the kitchen out in the garden, and there was so many possibilities as a child, and yeah, was always fun and awesome.
Jan, I'm just gonna say, hearing you say candies sounded fantastic.
Yeah, well, I love candies, and
It's like I just love the way you
Candies.
say it, man. Because I know I probably sound funny to you the way I say certain things, but I love when like you're like, "Oh, I had the candies," and I'm like, I can't help it, dude. It drives me nuts. It's awesome. I love your accent, man. It's fucking cool. I promise you. I just think it's
thanks
cool.
so much. By the way, we have the biggest model of HO model thing in Hamburg. It's not that far away from me. It's called Miniatur Wonderland. I can give you a link later about this if you want.
Because
It's the world's
when the people set up
biggest.
those worlds for trains, they put in a lot of work and they look amazing. When they really honed
Is it
in and build,
indoors?
huh?
Is it indoors?
Yeah, it's indoors. It has many levels and thousands of square meters, and it's a huge one. And yeah, it's the world's biggest one in
That's pretty
HO
cool.
scale. Yeah. So yeah, come here. We do a road trip to Hamburg to show you this. But yeah, they have what was it like 18 kilometers. It's like 12 miles
I'm just picturing
of
Tony
lines.
trying to tell his
Yeah.
family he's got to go to Germany to go see a rail train collection.
I'm like,
Well,
I'll be right back.
we have so,
I have to go see Jan and these trains.
we have so much more. We also have a very big Star Wars exhibition here, so in my near as well. Well, whatever. And another thing, what I really loved to play with when I was a child was my good old Commodore 64 computer, for sure. And then for sure the good old jump and runs like Gianna Sisters and winter games and summer games and all the other stuff I loved to play with. And yeah.
So, did you ever, when Commodore 64 was done, did you have an
Yeah.
Atari?
No. My next step was an old 286.
Wasn't Atari before Commodore?
No. What's Ultra 286?
Wasn't it?
It's a PC. It's a 286. Then we had the 386 and the 486, then whatever. And then there was a car game where you could edit yourself the tracks you wanted to drive on. It was named Stunts. I'm pretty sure the most people knows it. And yeah, it was just
Tony, you're going crazy.
yeah, it was just a small program, and yeah, you really could edit your own tracks.
So,
It was nice.
Tony,
Atari
you
came
like-
out in the 70s. Commodore 64 came out in 82. Atari was before Commodore 64.
I had a 2600 Atari, and I also had the wood grain Atari.
Okay. So your
So,
parents had
what
all
was
stuff.
before that?
Fuck if I know.
I thought
The Commodore
Commodore was an hold on. I thought Commodore 64 was an import system.
Before the 64 was a Commodore 16 plus 4.
So, is that before
Yeah,
Atari?
it came out in 1882, January 7th, 1982.
1982. I thought you said 1882. I'm like, God damn.
It would be a little bit too early, I think. Yeah.
Huh.
Because like, when
After
I was a
the
kid, my dad was a Commodore, and I played the games on the Commodore 64 when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atari was out like at least in the late 70s, maybe.
Right, because I mean, they had a whole episode of that '70s show about the Atari, making the paddles smaller.
Well, I'm trying to think of like,
So,
so we had my grandfather bought me an Atari, but it was that wood grain one, and you had to like switch from like TV to game. Yeah, and then you could only play like fucking 4 games. You had Pac-Man or whatever, and you had like the game where it shot like the not Space Invaders, but it was like Space Invaders.
Missile
And it
Command.
wasn't until we had the 2600 that we got ET and games like that. Which has anybody? I don't want to like change subject. But anybody ever going back and watch speed runs for Atari games?
No.
Holy shit, dude!
I don't watch these ones. It's weird.
I love speed runs, but
those are
speed
good
runs
old
for
times.
Atari games.
Tony knows a good speed run.
So what else? Anything else, Jan? Like anything you can think of as a kid, or nah?
Well, this is the things that I mainly remember about. There might be some other stuff as well for sure, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't remember that much about other stuff.
Do
That's
you
still
have
very cool,
toys
man.
in your house right now?
Hmm?
Do you have a toy? Do you have a toy still today that you have in your possession?
But he's probably
Some
not
toy?
allowed to show it on camera.
Yes, I still have my Tamiya RC models. I
Hmm.
still have them. I also have my Robe Futaba RC Technic and yeah,
So
and,
I
and,
had
and,
an
and some
original-
other models. I also have a helicopter here. I also have 3 boats here and 2 cars. And outside in my car, there's some Tamiya tank model. So, but it's outside.
So I used to have an original Team Associated, which was it had an orange pan. It was a
Yeah.
buggy, and it was run by a Futaba remote. I've had Novak speed controllers. This is all older stuff.
The buggy, a buggy I had as well. It was yeah, a knockoff of the original Grasshopper model. Grasshopper,
Yes.
I think, was from, yeah, and I had a knockoff of this made by Academy Minicraft. That was the name of this company. It was named Road Runner 2. Sometimes you find them on eBay as well, but they are really rare. I still have this model. That was the first car model I got when I was, I think, like 8 years old. And yeah, it was able to run like 20 miles per hour. So it was really fast for this time.
Did you have Bolink also?
The what?
Bolink. Bolink?
No,
No?
no.
Ah.
Definitely thought you originally asked if he had bowling. I'm like,
No, I know Tamiya, whatever you want to call it. I know that production. So Tamiya made the Grasshopper. They made the Midnight Pumpkin.
Yeah.
They made
The Monster Beetle. My sister
Yes.
had this.
yes, they made the Monster Beetle. They made
Yeah,
the
classic car.
Digger. I think it was a streetcar, a
Yeah.
street Volkswagen. Because I took a Digger and I took the guts out and I put racing buggy parts in it, and I tore up the felt tires. I
Yeah.
just remember that from being a kid. It was a lot of fun. Those are cool. They were very cool. Never had anything
Yeah,
that's cool,
definitely.
but
Yeah, and yeah, stable and reliable as well.
yeah, that's very cool, man. That's awesome. Cool stuff. So yeah, so what else? What else we got? That
Well,
was cool.
I said that. Yeah, that's
Joe's been awful
the.
quiet.
Joe, you
Joe's
still
like,
got
"I'm
that
a fancy
Predator
background,
piece
so I'm
behind you?
quiet today."
What's that?
You still got the Predator piece behind you.
Yeah, it's looking for a new home if I know anybody that wants it.
I know this one guy, but he's ginger and he steals souls, not pieces. But
Yeah.
Hey, I got two. I got
There's
two
not
of
enough
them in
money
the
in
house.
stealing souls.
Gingers. I got 2 gingers in the house.
I don't want to get onto Collector's Hideout, but
Oh,
did anybody else see the reviews and the reactions for the new Toxic Avenger movie?
nope. I'm not.
Nope.
I want to
No.
see it. I don't want
Bro.
to get old.
They're posting the reactions the reactions from people in the theater, and now I'm dying to see the fucking movie.
I don't know when it comes out.
Well, it's already out.
Oh. Yeah,
So
maybe I'll go
you
this
can
weekend.
see the reviews of people watching it. And
Well, I remember
apparently,
they're like test screening or something. You know what I mean?
oh my god, dude, but it's so good. Like the people, they're like, they show a scene, and you see everybody go like, "Oh god!" Like, and I'm like, I have to see this movie now. Like, I love trauma, man. So like, and the guy, I said this on the last Collector's Outcast, and I don't want to like take away from that, but the guy's talking about reviews for what he saw with the movie, and he goes, "It's so bad," and he goes, "And I mean so bad, you can't stop watching it." And I'm like,
it's a train wreck.
oh my
Great.
god, it's after my own heart. Like, and he's a trauma guy, so he's watched trauma flicks. He knows all the trauma movies, and so he expected nothing less. He goes, "It's great. It's over the top. It's raunchy. It's gory. It's everything you ever want in a trauma flick." And then you watch these people's reactions, and I'm like, either these people have never seen a trauma flick, or it's that bad, like creepy. Because I haven't seen, apparently, you see Toxie's fucking wang in it, and it's gigantic. And I'm like, I have to see it just for that. And that sounds terrible, but I'm that guy.
Tony has to see this movie to see Toxic.
I have to see Toxic Avenger Wang. That's all. And that's another short. Just throwing that out there.
I'm not going to judge you, but I'm going to judge you on that one.
Is this supposed to take place in like the 80s or something, or 70s, or what?
So, yeah, so the original movie took place in the 80s.
Yeah.
And the guy Melvin played the janitor. This looks like I'm doing something else, but he played the janitor in this
But you
like
want to go
juice
see the
bar.
movie for, obviously.
Yeah, this juice bar gym shit. And they're all like, they always give crap to Melvin, right? It's all over the top. They're all like, "Oh, we're bodybuilders and we work out and blah, blah, blah." Well, Melvin, all of a sudden the popular girl wants to bang Melvin. And of course, "Oh, you're interested in me?" And it's way over the top. And she's like, "Yeah, you make me so hot." So she makes him put on this pink tutu. And when he comes out, they all like make fun of him, freak him out. Well, he runs and jumps out the window and ironically jumps into toxic waste. And it's a truck, Tromaville toxic waste.
Because
course,
every
it's
school has a
Tromaville.
truck full of, toxic waste sitting outside.
Right. So then he jumps out, and all of a sudden he's like this big, muscular, 6'3" dude, and it's a Toxic Avenger. And that's what's kind of funny because that was the whole point of Toxic Avenger was he got all crazy and gross, and he became this big, muscular superhero. And now you watch it, it's like, well, the guy Peter Dinklage who's playing Toxie is fucking 3.5 feet tall, call it 4 feet, and he stays 4 feet tall. I'm like, well, Toxic Avenger, he's so cute, he's so small. But evidently the movie is hilarious and it doesn't matter. It supersedes his size.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm watching the preview right now without any audio, and holy cow, I want to go see it.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
We'll go see it, Joe. I don't think anybody else is going to want to.
Yeah, probably not. We'll watch that in Death Stalker. They both.
Oh, dude, come over to my house and we'll fucking throw it up on the big ass TV
There
and
you go.
call it. But all right, so it's 10 o'clock. We keep rocking if we've got something, but if not, we can call it.
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yes, Jan, we are aware, and
I
I'm
gotta
sorry
go.
for you.
By the way, it's Wednesday, not Tuesday. Just saying.
He's in the
Listen,
future. You know,
I'm
he's saying-
excited for meeting Mayumi. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
She sounds adorable on the video or audio. Basically, knockoff of Marvel. All right, no, we're not doing this. That we'll talk about that. Well, that's up to Chris, but
No.
that is. Then we can talk about it here because nope, that's not it. That is not it at all.
Oh,
Don't
no,
you sit
because-
here and tell me Toxic Avenger is a ripoff of Marvel? Who the hell is Marver? That's probably right,
Might be a ripoff of Marver.
but it's not a ripoff of Marvel or
No,
Carvel. Carvel Crusaders, Carvel Avengers.
So what we're doing for collectors this week is that you and Psycho want to do a circle jerk for Transformers. So
I
y'all
agree.
are gonna be doing Transformers, but at the same time, we're gonna discuss. We're gonna do a little wish listing.
Mega Man 6.
No, NECA Ninja Turtles 2012.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna do like just a little wish listing on that because those figures come out or they're releasing the pre-orders in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Little, what we want to go from there, and then your Transformer discussion that you guys want to argue about. So
It's not an
that's
argument when you're right.
Collectors Thursday. While I try not to fall asleep while you guys talk Transformers.
I'm with you.
I've binged every Transformer movie in the last 3 days just because I didn't have anything to watch. And
Oh my
right now
God.
I'm watching one of them right now. It's playing
I
in the
mean,
background.
Okay, so you binged all that, but did you watch, Trick or Treat? Like,
Oh yeah, I did. I absolutely. I
okay.
watched. Yeah, yeah. I watched. it. Yeah.
So okay, so I'm kind of. Oh man, we're off. I knew it was gonna
Off
happen.
topic. Yeah.
So I worry about. Well, real quick, tell Mama we said hi. We love her. Hope everything's good. We know Johnny's not feeling well. That's why he's not on. So Trick or Treat. They're talking about the second one. Is anybody worried we're not going to get the same homage for Sam?
What do you mean?
My worry is that the guy who played Sam is getting older. Well, he's much older. He's much taller.
He was a kid.
I understand. So he's older now. He's not a kid anymore. So he can't be Sam unless they CGI the fuck out of him.
No.
Are we worried that the message, I guess, and the nostalgia for that movie is going to wear off because ultimately the movie is about the spirit of Halloween and how Sam is the spirit of Halloween? Are we worried that if they make another one, is it going to be, yes, Sam's the spirit of Halloween, but they're not going to be able to follow up the other stories that make up the movie? If that's, remember what I'm saying? Like the first movie?
So my thing is this, is that one of the biggest problems sequels have is that they try too hard, too fast to push out a new story, right?
Yes.
It's been almost 20 years. I feel like they should be able to get 4 good stories that don't have to do with anything and have them slowly intertwine the same general way, right? But I feel like they've had plenty of time to get good stories and something to do it right. What I worry is that they haven't done that and that they're going to try and give us like a sequel of the Anne Paquin story. Like, it was a good story. I don't want to see this continuation. I'm good. Don't need to see that one. Bring me something else. That's what I would be worried about. I'm not worried about Sam. I think Sam's going to be fine.
So that's my concern. So, Joe, 2 seconds. So that is my biggest concern. My worry is that, again, it's one of my most cherished movies of all the shitty movies I've ever watched. It is actually a great fucking movie. And my worry is that, to your point, Chris, yeah, they've had a long time to do this. And so my worry is that he only got repopular, right? Because everything is like based on popularity.
Mhm.
So he got repopular because of mainstream, because of toys, because of Spirit Halloween, because of all these crappy reasons. He got popular. And so now they're making another movie. And my worry is that they didn't spend any time. And like you said, they're going to try to reinvent the Anna Paquin scene or her story. And maybe something more along the line of those kids from the bus instead of just giving Sam a new group of people to latch onto for the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, I'd put it in a different city. You know what I mean? A completely different area. He's the spirit of Halloween. He can go anywhere, right?
Right. He doesn't have to be in a hometown. He can be anywhere.
Right. Go anywhere and just let it be, a
Muppet
new
Take
set of
Manhattan.
stories.
I don't think he'd age. I think he'd stay a child or whatever, small. He's a child, right?
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think
he
he's going
should.
to age, but
No,
he's
he
just
shouldn't
saying that because the actor who played him so well was a child.
It's
Like,
going
they
to
have
have to be
time.
somebody else. Like
Yeah,
I'd
it's
rather
gonna have
see.
to be. Yeah.
I'd rather see the original Sam play a cameo, and we have a new kid playing the little Sam.
Yeah, you have the original Sam play one of the cameos in one of the stories. You know what I mean?
Peter Dinklage would play it well.
Holy shit!
God damn it,
That
Joe.
Sam would be even smaller. It's like baby Sam.
Well, I mean, we had
At
Leprechaun.
least I'm not worried about the Sam aspect. I think Sam's fine because he was as great of a character he is. He wasn't. I don't think there's. I mean, anything's possible. I don't think there's much that can mess up with that type of thing, because he's just enforcing the rules of Halloween, right? He wasn't like picking somebody for a specific reason. He wasn't hunting like, no, you're not following the rules, you're gonna die, right? That was the thing. They can do that story 100 times. Different rule gets broken, he goes to go in and kill the person, right?
Sure.
But it's the other stories that I worry about. I want to see good stories. It's like we were saying with the movie VHS. Had a couple great ones, but then they had what 4, 5, 6. I think there's a new one coming out soon.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
love
some of them were
VHS.
rough. Huh?
VHS was a great line.
Yeah, but have you seen all of them? There's like 7 of them.
I've saw 3, I think. I don't see anything past 3.
Yeah, there's like viral. They get rough.
Yeah,
Mm.
some of them get rough. Some of them, I mean, as a whole, and we're gonna digress, right? But as a whole, they're not the greatest movies. But if you take a story out of each movie, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, you could probably take 1 or 2 stories from each VHS and make like 2 solid VHS movies.
100%. Yeah.
Well, so that'd be cool, man. So somebody, I mean, well, you're both thinking it. I'm hoping for it. So you would think somebody would take that and run with it and say, yeah, we can definitely make something out of these stories. I mean, there's another movie. I said the same thing. The short stories should have been movies.
No, I mean, I don't know about movie wise, but you keep saying that toy line.
Well, The Cursed Dead. Yeah, they
Yeah.
totally should be short films. Actually, Love, Death, and Robots.
Such a great show.
Mayumi, I know you're on here. We love you. Mayumi, if you have ever seen Love, Death, and Robots, some of those could be honest to God movies or even series.
Yeah.
They're just done so damn well. Jan, what are some horror movies you saw as a kid?
Well, the first horror movie I saw was when I was 10 years old, Friday the 13th.
So was it in
So-
subtitles or was it in English?
No, it was in German.
Oh my God,
So-
that's fantastic.
Like now it makes me wonder if like the
I know.
Does it have
Like,
the same effect?
is it like yelling? Like I don't know.
I don't. You guys don't get how bad I want Jan to yell at me in German. I don't know why.
He can do that.
You
He
mean just
should
talk
do
to you
that.
in German? Like
I want
this
him to
is
be
like-
mad about something and just yell about it. Oh my God. So what?
That'd
So
be a
you
good
saw Friday the
intro for your
13th.
show.
Did you see anything else or?
I mean, one of the last ones I was watching was Amityville Horror.
Oh, it's a good movie. Okay.
Yeah.
That was
But-
Kevin Bacon when they're in the house, right? The house is haunted.
Yep.
Okay. I can't remember the movie too well, but I was trying to think of who was in it.
Said
Do you
Kevin-
like horror? Or what kind of movies do you
No,
like?
Did you say Kevin Bacon?
I
Well,
thought it was Kevin Bacon, but
I'm not the guy who was watching that much TV or watching too many movies or whatever. It's sometimes I do, sometimes not. It's well, the last movie, for example, that I was watching in the cinema is a few years ago. It was one of the Marvel ones, but ask me what it was. I only know that. And I'm sorry for this, but well, no, I'm not. I fell asleep in all Star Wars episodes in the cinema. It's definitely not my stuff.
cinema. All right, cool.
Yeah,
It's so
even
crazy.
the
like,
surround sound, made me not waking up. So
it's so crazy to hear you, Jan, like talk about like we call it different things, and like hear you talk about it, you call it something different. It's crazy, man. It blows my mind. It's so like normal, but it's so weird at the same time for me. It's awesome. I don't know. I think it's cool. I enjoy cultures and I enjoy hear about things from other countries and just little things about the way you might describe something versus the way we might describe something. And
Yeah.
it's cool. I dig it, man. It's very cool.
likewise.
Love you, Jan. All right. So what else we got? If nothing, man, Joe, you look like you're searching or you're
No, I'm good. I'm sorry. I was I was going down the rabbit hole of previews. We're talking movies, and I'm just
Oh,
watching
dear
them
God.
on my side. Yeah, probably should be doing that.
So there's a lot of stuff coming out. I will tell you
There's
the
a lot
one
of stuff
thing.
coming out.
The one thing I'm excited for, beyond anything else in my life, is the Last Ronin live-action movie that has gotten a lot of great hype. It's going to be rated R. I have a lot of high expectations, and I'm also a little sad because I feel like if you're a true Turtles fan, and I mean true, honest to God, Turtles fan, it is going to hurt your heart. It's going to be one of those things that they are going to. Chris nodded. I don't know if that's another podcast or if that's Chris is going to elaborate, but I think it's one of those things that is going to punch you hard in the gut because they can, and they're going to set it up, or they're going to not do enough. They're going to set it up for future movies because there's so much hype, and which also bothers me because, fuck, man, don't do that to me. It's the last Ronin.
There's if like I haven't read anything about Ronin, but if they don't show the deaths, they're missing an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what's going to be hard. Watching those deaths happen, just like when they had to do with Ghostbusters, and they had to acknowledge the fact that Egon's dead, right? Like that shit hurts. So
Okay. So real quick, I don't want to cut you off, but I am. So with that movie, when I watched that with the kids, right? The first one they fight Zool, right?
yeah. Well, Gozer, but yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. So all right,
3 different people. So.
Gozer. So they fight Gozer in the first one, and I remember watching it and seeing all the Ghostbusters come back, and then Egon's fighting with Phoebe.
Right.
Hey man, I'll be the first to admit my eyes were watering.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, oh shit, man, it's Egon, and I'm like, you're dead in real life, like, and you're losing your mind because it's like, but it's only because I grew up with that as a kid, so it hurts to see that gone. So it's the same. Like we went back to the theater and we watched with Joe and Rebel Girl and Johnny. We went and saw Weezy, You're Too Far Away, man. But we went and saw Turtles, and when they're showing Splinter as the Flame because he was caught, I'm getting tears. Like I'm sitting there trying to don't look at anybody. You're fine. Hold it together. But there's little tears coming down. What?
What it was? He wasn't even dead.
Bro.
He was just wet.
But I remember the thing is, I remember the feeling as a kid. I remember going to the theaters. That's the last memory I have with my dad. That was like, I have a lot of memories with my dad, but that's the last time we did something together, like that. And I remember going to the theater with my dad and watching that movie. And that's the last time I saw that movie in the theater. So when I saw it again, that hurt, man. So and I remember that portion. So I'm trying not to cry, but I got tears starting in my eyes. And my girl's like, oh, Splinter. And I'm like, borderline slap her. I'm like, it's my moment. Be quiet.
Like you do like that fake yawn, that help.
No,
you sure it wasn't the goose talking?
There was no goose in that theater, unless you count the little bottles. But
it
hurt, man.
Ronin, though, they're gonna have to touch on the other 3 dying, right? And that's going to be an emotional thing for anybody who's a Turtle fan. Like you've read the comics, you know what happens, you understand, you know the story, but to see the visual portrayal of it will definitely hurt. If they don't do it in the first movie, they're just missing an opportunity to really have something special.
I'm with you. I am. But that's going to hurt, man. I mean,
for the first movie, waiting for it, they'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna see it," and then they don't do it. It'll piss people off to not have that acknowledged.
So you're gonna have the first movie would have to be Leo. I think no, I lied. The first movie would have to be Splinter and Donnie die. They die first.
You want 4 movies?
What the fuck? I'm talking about just do the story and have the flashbacks showing their deaths.
Yeah.
No, so if they wanted to do actual movies, they could do the first Ronin movie, right? And they could kill off Splinter and Johnny because those are the 2 that go to meet, I think, Shredder's people or whoever was representing the Foot.
But
this is spoilers, everybody. And
that's not Last Ronin, then.
Yes, it is. And they attack Donnie and they attack Donnie and Splinter and they die.
Well,
actually, Donnie dies first.
But you're taking out the aspect of what made Ronin such a great story, right? Because when you first read the comics of Ronin, you don't know who it is, right? You don't know which turtle it is.
Well, yeah, you don't know anything, but I'm reading the graphic novel. Yeah.
Right. I'm saying you don't know. So you go through and then you see how those things happen, right? The way it's laid out. To do we're gonna do the story in the movie, we're just gonna give it this, we're gonna show these two like you're taking the way it was presented and rearranging it because you already know the story, right? But for those who don't know the story, like you kind of want them to have the same
Or his ordering.
things. Like you don't want to sit there and introduce like Star Wars to somebody and watch movies 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6. You want to watch them the way it was fucking released. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, whatever. You know what I mean? Like if they're gonna do the movie, you want to kind of go in the same footsteps as the graphic novel.
So you don't think the first movie is going to kill off Splinter and Donnie?
I think what they're gonna do is that it's gonna be they're all gonna be dead because that's how this comic starts. You have one turtle. Everybody else is dead. You don't know who the one turtle is.
So you think they're going to bypass all of their stories for the deaths and just go straight into the last fights of Mikey?
Because that's what their last Ronin originally was.
Okay, but have you read the graphic novel?
Yes.
Okay, so if you read the graphic novel,
Uh-huh.
the hardcover graphic novel.
Correct. I have the hardcover. I have them, yes.
Okay, so they start out, everybody's dead, but they go back and tell the story of each death.
Right. And then that's where you build up to it, right? And you find
But
out.
do you
who
think they're going to
Turtle
do
is.
that? Or you think they're just going to tell the whole story of everybody's already dead?
I think they're going to start it if they're going to do it for the sake of a movie, unless you're going to do like a Netflix series and have a bunch of different episodes, right? Because there's no guarantee that they're going to get 4 movies out of it, right? Because it's got to do well. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it the way of here's the story, this is your turtle, and then you're going to get the flashbacks explaining each death until it unveils who the turtle is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that would
Yeah.
make the most sense.
No, I
You're not
get
going
it.
to
I
get full
understand.
movies for those. You might get like a 20-minute thing, like almost like fucking Trick or Treat, where you have a bunch of the small stories, right?
Okay,
For
so that would make,
what?
to your point, that would make more sense if they did like a trick or treat style, where it was like it's Mikey's story.
A bunch of anthologies.
Correct. Yeah, but they did like break offs because I don't see them doing more than one movie, only because I think it's one of those movies that's just gonna like knock it out in one shot.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to do a one
I
shot.
think it'll be a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, but I think they're gonna smash it all out in one shot.
Because they could do it, like I said, have it the story going and then flashbacks, little 10-15 minute flashbacks showing that what led up to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just starts showing the deaths that way. Like
I
I don't think
agree.
it's like a montage showing all the deaths real quick, but it's gonna be
a montage.
like
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I think Ouija's point is they're probably going to just do a lot of, flashbacks and backstory, but they're going to just incorporate it moving forward with the existing turtle. So I don't know. We'll see what it does.
I mean, unless they want to do it, you want to do something similar to like they did with Ghostbusters. The opening sequence, the first 10 minutes of the movie, shows the death of Leonardo and Splinter, or Donatello and Splinter, right? And then it starts off, here's the death, and then goes into Mikey not knowing who it is, last Ronin, and then continue, then do another thing like that, showing the rest. But I don't think you're gonna get a 4-movie deal out of this bitch. I don't think you're gonna...
I don't know. It's. I guess to your point, the anthology thing would make more sense. You could hit up each character, other than like,
Really?
unless you incorporate it, other than like Casey. Excuse me, because April, well, she doesn't die.
She just gets old and unattractive.
Yeah, she gets fucked up. But you have Mikey at the end. Mikey fights with April, and it's not Karai. What is the Casey's daughter's name? April and Casey's kid.
Is Cassie? Isn't it Cassie?
Cassie. No, you're right, actually.
Yeah.
So it's Cassie fights with Mikey and April and Casey. But the other ones, it's like you have Leo, Karai, you have Raphael, you have Donnie, you have Splinter, and they all fight like in their own time, like in the series, in the comic, I should say.
I mean, really, I feel I could be wrong or alone on this, but I feel to do the Last Ronin right, if you're gonna do like a film version, it's got to be a series on like a Netflix or something where you have hour episodes that you could pertain to each as the story goes along and really dive into, because that story to put in like 2.5 hours, it's a big story.
So I'd love to see that. My thought
I don't think they'll
process
do
is,
it,
though,
but I think that's the best way to do it.
from what I saw, they say it's already filming, and it's just going to be a movie, and it's rated R.
I mean, which is fine, but I think it's gonna be one of those that you're gonna be like, man, they could have done so much better if this was like a Netflix series. If it was just something where you could really flush it out.
So I don't think they realize the impact on Turtle fans, because we haven't had anything like this before, right? So like the last Ronin, when that came out, it was like, holy shit, this is a whole new, like it wasn't, but it's a whole new universe for Turtles people to explore, right? Like now you've got people are dying. People you didn't think were gonna die are dying. So the brothers are dying, the father is dying. All these things are happening that are well beyond the spectrum of any Turtles genre or any Turtles universe. And then all of a sudden, it's like, holy shit, they're all dying. And so to make this a movie, you can't downplay that, man, because people died. Mikey gets left. Look, spoilers, guys, but Mikey's left alone. Mikey's the last Ronin. He's the last turtle alive, and even Mikey doesn't survive. So it's the end of the Turtles, or what should have been, and then the fucking babies grow up and all that bullshit. But it's just kind of crazy. I understand the need for that, but it's just kind of crazy that the end of a dynasty of Turtles comes from this movie, this comic, and why would we not do it more justice? I kind of agree with you, Chris. I'd rather see a series on Netflix.
Yeah, give me a long series, solid 12-episode series.
Yeah, stretch it out, man. There's plenty to do there.
I mean, I don't know, like a good example. I don't even know if it's a good example, but just because I've been watching the series recently, would be like on Peacock, that Twisted Metal series.
I didn't watch it yet. Anybody
Is
else?
that any good?
Like, I mean, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. A lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot of killing. Like it's there. But
Rebel Girl said it was good, but I haven't watched it.
But they're trying to do such a huge story that they tried to put that in a movie. It would have bombed. You know what I mean? It would have just been lackluster. It would have been too fast. It would have made no sense. But it's been 2 seasons now of the build up to like the tournament, and it's been a fun ride. Like if you give me that with Turtles, with Last Ronin, you'd have a success. I could be wrong, but I feel like you'd have a success. Like, could you imagine if they tried to put 1 season of Stranger Things into like a 2-hour movie? That'd be like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, it'd be like, what the fuck happened? Such a big story you're trying to tell, but you fucking jammed into 2 hours.
I agree with you with the Last Ronin, man. I think it needs to be, make it a mini series. Maybe it's only 8 episodes. Maybe it's only 12. It's not a lot to tell, but it's enough where you can't get it into a 2-hour stretch without leaving out so many critical points.
Right, because if you can't do like the stories of each turtle's death in its own episode that way, then what are you doing? Like, you got an hour to show the story of Donnie, Splinter, then Leo, then Raph. Like, you have the time to do it then and do it justice, not just have it be like a quick reference or a newscast pops up. You see like a video of like on the TV of like a turtle getting killed. Like, you get to actually really flush it out.
So, guys, everybody, thank you for coming out, man. Listen, we got on a tangent with the Last Ronin. That's great. We'd love to keep going with it, but it is 10:30. Some of us have to work tomorrow. Apparently not Jan ever. He just sleeps whenever he happens to close his eyes.
He just hibernates.
We're
Absolutely.
Jan, thank you so much, man. We're excited. We love to have you on. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me. And if you want it again, sure.
And if you could relay to Mayumi that she is my new bestie, and I hope that she jumps on board at some point. super cool. Seems like a cool chick, and it'd be cool to have her on. Joe, as always, thank you, man, for joining.
Thank you.
And Wheezy, man, as always, we're here to fix everything when we're done. But guys,
Nice.
so listen, I don't want to announce this, but Collector's Hideout on Thursday. I know there's a lot Wheezy's ready to talk about. There's things I'd love to talk about, but I'm going with Wheezy. It's his show. Wheezy, what are we talking about on Thursday?
No, Thursday we're talking turtles.
Yeah.
No, we're wish listing turtles, the original or the 2012 turtle line from NECA.
Very cool.
But then you guys want to talk Transformers. What aspects of Transformers are getting your guys' pants aroused? I don't know, but that's what you guys want to talk about. That's where we're going.
Okay.
Something about trannies. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're going to talk trainees and turtles. So it's going to be a hell of a day. But guys, thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much. I know you're live. You guys stayed on with us a little bit late tonight. It's 10:30. I don't want to go to work tomorrow, but it is what it is. And as always, in the normal shellhead fashion, I will always end it the way I always end it. And that is to say, knock hips.
Oh.
We're not on live yet. I just do this, and I'm looking to hold myself still. So, if you guys don't know, it's from, anybody remember Incredibles?
Yeah.
With Edna, and she's like, knock hips. That's it. That's